Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So JP just got done with maintenance. We are now on version 5.11.0. There's actually a huge amount of stuff to talk about. I think we have more clues about what Golden Week is going to look like. To me, it's looking like Golden Week is going to be very good. I think with one of these changes, I guess we could just hop right in. To me, this tells me that one of the Golden Week characters is very likely to be a super attack counter character. And I think we are very likely to get a new difficult stage that cancels dodge, which a lot of people will hear that and think I'm crying. Oh, my beloved dodge. No. Dodge is too overpowered. I have been saying Dokkan should drop more bosses that cancel dodge. Dodge is the strongest thing you could do. So if Dokkan is going to make a difficult stage that cancels dodge, but now characters that counter super attacks, like, you know, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Goku and Gohan exchange unit, Gamma 1, right? Like those types of characters can now do their super attack counters even against bosses that cancel dodge. I think that's a good and fair way to do that. So let's swap over for a second right here. Okay, so version 5.11.0 is out. Update contents are as follows. So they implemented the support memory enhancement function. We can enhance specific support memories by collecting the enhancement items through login bonus and missions. I believe at the moment it's just login, but we'll check in a second. So yep, you can do all this. We also have the details for what the strengthened support memories are looking like. Okay, so that's good. Okay, easy awaken medals are now displayed. Sure. Okay, yeah, here we go. So change the behavior of some passive skills that nullify the enemy's special move and then counterattack, such as the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, cannot be activated on stages where bosses cancel dodge. So, Red Zone Broly. And I think more important, because a lot of people are like, oh, this only affects the Broly fight. But the final phases of all the legendary events, the OG Legendary Goku event, the GT Legendary Goku event, and the Legendary Vegeta event, in all three of those, the boss at the end is canceling dodge, right? Now, the original Legendary Goku event came out on May 9th of 2019, Goku Day. This is when the original Legendary Goku event came out right here. So it would make sense if potentially on May 9th this year, we get a new Legendary Goku event. To me, that's what this this change, the reason it could be implemented, is so that when they release a potential new Legendary Goku event, I think that would be pretty good. They could do like a new Red Zone, maybe like a World Tournament Red Zone or something like that. I think that's fine as well. But I think a new Legendary event could be good, right? Like one that, like, you know, okay, so like, let's say it's the Extreme Legendary Goku event, and maybe the final boss UI Goku in there is doing like 2 million damage on a super attack or something like that at the end. Or it would have to probably even be stronger than that. Like, let's say you get to this UI Goku on turn 15. He's got to be doing like 2.5 million damage on a super attack or something. Because it's like, the thing a lot of people don't realize is that the longer you make fights in Dokkan, the easier they get, right? The hardest fights are the ones that you're just thrown into it immediately because opening rotation RNG, every character needs to build up. Like, almost no great character just is like that for free. They all have to build up in some way. So the longer fights go on, the easier it gets. So Dokkan would have to compensate by making, you know, that final boss way, like, I'm talking way stronger than Cell Max. But it would sort of be balanced out by the fact that, again, you would have many turns to build up to it. So I do think it could be good, right? Like, I think if it's like a UI Goku you get to past turn 10, I think his super attack damage could go all the way up to 2.5 million, and it would probably still be okay, right? Remember, Cell Max he does, what is it, like 1 point, it's like 1.6 to 1.8, like in that range is kind of where like Cell Max and like the Metal Cooler Core and like the hardest hitting bosses are at. So I do think they could drop, again, extreme legendary Goku event with a UI Goku at the end who does 2.5 million. I think that would actually be fine. So again, with this change, super attack counter characters now work against bosses that cancel dodge. So some examples of this. So this is Tech Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right? He has a great chance of evading super attack and countering with tremendous power. This is now being changed to nullification. So this is a 70% chance to nullify and counter with tremendous power, is exactly the way this is going to be updated right here. Super attack counters are now nullification. So, I mean, dude, I'm going to tell y'all this. This sure would have been nice on release for Red Zone Broly if these Gogetas could nullify Broly's super attacks. That would have been real nice back then in February of 2022, like when there was like 10 good characters in the game for those Red Zone, top tier Red Zone fights. That sure would have been nice. I mean, come on. Then of course we have LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who has a high chance. Remember, now it's a high chance of nullifying enemy super attack and countering with tremendous power. So now these characters have a huge, huge buff. Because keep in mind, right, they created all of these bosses. So they split the super attack typings into 4 types, right? There's Ki Blast, there's Melee, there's Weapon, and then there's Other, defined as Other. Previously, if a boss had an Other super attack, which, oh, by the way, the most difficult boss in the game, this guy, his super attack is an Other, right? You can just dodge him, but if this was a boss that canceled dodge and his super attack was defined as an Other, you would have no avenue to avoiding it. You would have to eat it. There would be nothing you could do. You would have to tank with guard or damage reduction. Now, let's say they drop a boss as tough as this guy who is, an Other super attack. You would be able to counter and nullify with LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So this guy just gets a massive buff. It's crazy. I would almost say now, like, the gods have no chance of matching up to this guy, right? Like, it's like I would say he's just clearly better now at this point with this. Because it's like the gods rely on dodge too, right? Like I would not bring the gods into the Broly fight. Like, it's just super RNG, right? Like if you are caught on that AoE phase, the gods are just dead, instantly dead, right? But now it's like you go rock Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in there, you're transformed, you're good. This is a huge buff to this character, man. This actually makes this guy really interesting. And another character that gets this buff is Gamma 1. I've spent months talking about how much better I think Gamma 2's ability is because it's a nullification, whereas Gamma 1, he only has this shitty counter, which, I think that these counters to me were kind of shitty. I mean, the thing is, Gamma 1 is still just doing this to unarmed super attacks, which is not the biggest deal, right? But remember, this is now a nullification. So Gamma 1 is nullifying. I can't think, there's no, well, I guess, I guess actually STR and Tech Broly at the start of the Broly fight, they are doing melee supers. So this Gamma 1 could now nullify those and counter, right? But I would say it's Gamma 2s is probably still better because beam supers are just way more often. You're going to see those way more often. Ki Blast super attacks that you can nullify. So I would definitely keep that in mind. And then we have Goku and Gohan. Now, this character is getting buffed in 2 different ways. What is this? Oh, okay. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to do the support memories, I think, in a separate video. Because it's like, we're already at 9 minutes here. I think we'll kind of talk about these like bug fixes and passive updates, and then we'll do the support memory stuff in just a separate video is what I'm going to do here. So this character is buffed in 2 separate ways, actually. Number 1, remember that Gohan has a Ki Blast nullification now. So this now works against Red Zone Broly, making this, a really strong character. potentially against Red Zone Broly. I mean, the Goku unit is still very fraudulent, but once you get Gohan out, Gohan completely dominates Red Zone Broly, right? Again, so this is now 70% chance of nullifying enemies' Ki Blast, Super Attack, and countering. A very big buff. But this character also had a secondary buff as well. It's not this one. It's this. Yeah, okay. So previously, if a character had to build up by attacking, so this character, right, you need to super attack 3 times, and then you could exchange into Gohan. If the enemy dodged the attack, it did not count as one of these activations, right? This bug has now been fixed, so characters that need to attack, LR Golden Frieza needs to do attacks, super attacks to build up his defense. Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta need the super attack in order to do their transformation, right? These types of characters, if the boss dodges their attack now, it still counts as an activation. So this is definitely a buff. There are some boss characters that dodge. To me, it feels like most notably is like, Red Zone Omega. To me, has always felt like he does tend to dodge at very inopportune times. But this is good, right? A lot of these sort of like bug fixes and passive updates are very player friendly here. Like these are buffing a lot of our characters, right? So this is good. This is good. So yeah, again, this works well for Goku and Gohan and some of these other characters like that. So I had heard about this. This has never actually happened to me, but for some people, they would get to the final Tech Cell Max in his event, and sometimes he would not super attack at all. And it said that would be fixed by just resetting the app. I don't think I've ever encountered this, though, myself. But clearly, I mean, this is something that they talked about, so they just fixed this. So, it's not, they didn't change it to where, like, oh, Cell Max is double supering every single turn guaranteed. It's just sometimes there was a bug where he just wouldn't super attack at all. I think for turns and turns, but like that's sort of fixed right there. Not a big deal either way. A display problem related to Patan Battle has been fixed as well. Names of some enemy stickers do not fit in the frame and are displayed outside. And that has been fixed. Okay. Wait. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and Super Saiyan God. Oh, I think it's just, yeah, their names were just too long to fit in the thing. Okay, so there's that. And then I think that basically covers, this sort of change right here, but a pretty big deal, right? Like sort of like this I think is really substantial. We also have the support memory stuff. I guess I'm just gonna end here. And we'll talk about the support memory update in a separate video. Let me know what you guys think of the buff, but man, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I do feel like this is pretty significant. This gives this guy a lot of utility now, especially if they drop a super overpowered boss that cancels dodge. I mean, it's like, you could bust out this guy. And keep in mind, this guy works very well with the current best unit in the game, GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. If this guy has protection against super attacks, you could cheekily get him in slot 1 sometimes, depending upon the situation. With this, and with the damage reduction per Rainbow Orb, for sure. So, let me know what you guys think about this update. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.